Hi, it's Gwyneth on a fabulous Feel Good Friday as ever, helping you to nail your personal brand so that you find out what it is that you love to do, so you feel comfortable what you're doing every day. So it's hello from a rather noisy apartment, I have to say, in London, where I've been staying for the past couple of days, because yesterday I was with a fabulous group of people at the International Maritime Organisation doing one of my favourite workshops, working under pressure, emotional intelligence in the workplace. And once people get over the fact that we've got that word emotional in the title, once they realise we're not going to be talking about touchy-feely, let's all stroke each other and love each other stuff, the conversations are just fantastic. And yesterday was no exception. A brilliant bunch of people. But one of the things we talk about is fear. Now, fear, if you come across a tiger or you see a bear or a lion and they're just a few meters away from you, then I can understand that you could be afraid, that you might be fearful of the situation. But a lot of the fear that we have is completely intangible. It's completely irrational. It's because we've told ourselves we can't do something, we're not good at something, and that thought has then been attached to a very, very strong emotion. And the older we get, the stronger that emotion gets, the more fearful we become. It's one of the reasons why people are afraid to the extent that they go into panic mode as soon as they see a video camera for an interview or have to do an interview. They just stop because there's this fear that comes from when they were small, having to do tests at school, and they got a bad result and they didn't like it. It's such a strong emotion as a 7 or 8 year old that we take it through our lives into adulthood. Now, my biggest fear for a long, long time, completely irrational, has been Excel spreadsheets and numbers, because I never understood all the formulae. I just didn't get it. I failed my maths O-level, I got a U. Of course I can add and subtract, and I was quite good at my times table at school as well. But anything further, forget it. I went into panic, cold sweat. I can't tell how many courses I did on Excel to try and get to grips with it. I had this mental block for the longest time. And it's something I've had to work with extremely hard, because since going into business several years ago, I have to be able to do my accounts. Otherwise, I'm going to get into trouble with the tax man. Now, also in business, you have to have an accountant. You know, there's no way you can know everything in the beginning about how everything works and VAT returns and all the rest of it. So I've actually had 3 accountants up until now. The first one was very formal, I got the feeling, want to talk to me too much. The second one didn't talk to me full stop, didn't tell me what was going on, didn't pass on any information, and got me into quite a bit of trouble with the tax man, which meant that I had then to go to a third tax advisor, a third accountant, for them to help me out of this very, very sticky situation. And he was nice. He was a nice guy, but also very, very professional, and I didn't feel like there was a bond. Now, you might say, you don't need to bond with your accountant, they just need to sort out your taxes. But because numbers and Excel spreadsheets for me cause such an emotional response, I need to bond emotionally with my accountant. So I was very, very happy this week, when I went to see a new person at the recommendation, actually, of one of my clients. Her name is Anita, Schnarch, and she has a Steuerberatung, an accountancy practice in Vienna. And I walked in there and it was a completely different feeling. First of all, it was all bright. There were lots of windows, there was lots of sunshine coming in, all the lights were on, it wasn't dark at all. The young ladies on reception were, big smiles, enthusiastic, dynamic. They were running around. It was clear that it was a hive of energy. And then I went into Anita, and she was just lovely. Very, very different feeling going into her office. And we had the conversation, what do you do? She asked me some questions. I asked her some questions about how she works. She's got 20 employees, she's been doing her job a long, long time. I said to her, who am I going to be working with? Who will you, which of your colleagues will I be working with? And she said, well, in the beginning, Gwyneth, we will work together, she said, because I want to get to know you a bit better. I want to get to know about your business a bit better, so that I can then ensure that you're working with the right person in my business. Now, that for me was very, very important, but what clinched it for me was that I then told Anita about my fear of numbers and Excel spreadsheets. And she didn't just say, but it's so easy. She looked at me and she said, would you like me to explain how our spreadsheets work? Wow. So no instructions over the telephone, no do this, do that. Would you like me to show you? So she took me around to her side of the desk and showed me on the computer what their Excel spreadsheet could do for me. And for me, it was just like magic. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand the formula that they've put in there, formulae that they've put in there. But for me, it was just absolute magic. But it was the fact that Anita took me around the side of her desk and sat next to me and showed me what to do that clinched the deal, so to speak. That's what made me think, yeah, this is somebody I really, really want to work with. Now, if you are afraid of anything, do something about it. Don't let that emotion get to the point where you end up breaking into a cold sweat or a panic if you've got an interview coming up, if you have to do some accounts or whatever. If you do have to do some accounts, and this is a big, big plug for Anita Schnarch, Steuerberatung in Vienna, because she's just fantastic. And like I said, there's such an energy around her practice. She's got 20 employees there, fabulous people. Go and find her. I'm going to put her contact details in the comment, depending on where you're watching this. I'm going to put her contact details in the comments. And if you need an accountant, if you're looking for an accountant in Austria, I highly, highly recommend that you go and see Anita. So that's it on a fabulous Feel Good Friday. I wish you an amazing weekend. Loads of love and bye for now.